Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday after a wonderful weekend. Mine was fairly good. I worked some on Saturday, and yesterday I spent some time just futzing around with things. So I didn't get much done on any front, but it's okay because weekends are made for resting and not getting much done, at least in my opinion. I hope you all can hear me well today. My voice has taken a trip, often who knows where, and so I have to remember to speak up so you can all hear me. I think it's been a couple weeks, maybe more, that since I've been live. So I think I want to go back to kind of the beginning of defining what is and is not a widow or widower. I get asked a lot how I define them. Well, I define a widow or widower as anyone who has lost a spouse, legal or otherwise. If you are domestic partners, you've never gotten married for whatever reason, because you didn't want to or whatever, you're a widow or widower. If you were engaged and your person died before the wedding, you're definitely a widow or widower. What is not a widow is somebody who has been divorced from their person, the former person, for many years. Um, while she or he may still have feelings for the other, it's not the same as somebody who's been there day in and day out constantly. Um, yes, recent divorcees, I consider them widower widowers, especially if it's been, you know, like you were just separated or just divorced. And if it was amicable, or maybe the divorce was the other person's idea and not yours, yes, you can be considered a widow or a widower. But if it was 30 years ago and you both have moved on and whatever, nah, not so much. I mean, yes, you can feel grief. That part is true. But it won't be, chances are, it won't be as strong or as long lasting as it would be if you'd stayed married all these years. Don't let anyone tell you, you're no longer a wife or you're no longer a husband. You're a wife or husband as long as you believe you are. It's all up to you. It's very hurtful to say things like that. And I don't know why somebody would, but I know it's been said to people. It's it amazes me some of the things that people say to each other in a time like this. Don't say he's in God's hands or he's in a better place if you don't know the person's religion or beliefs. You can ask, do you believe in God? And if they say yes, then you can say something like that. If they don't, or do you believe in heaven and hell? If they don't, then you don't bring religion into it at all. Other things that are hurtful, but not necessarily said to be mean. As soon as I called my mother and told her that I was going to be, or that Dan had died, she asked me if I was going to move back home. And home was Syracuse, New York. And I said, no, Virginia is my home. And it had been for several years. And I had made Dan promise me that this was going to be our last move. We moved 7 times. Every time I got pregnant, he'd want a new place. I don't know what he'd say. We should get a bigger place, but sometimes we got a smaller place. So he just wanted a different place, I guess. And I went along with it. I hate moving. I hate packing, and I hate unpacking. So when we moved to Virginia, I said, please make this be our last move. And he said, yep, we're going out feet first. Yeah. I still live in the same home. It's been 11 years. I have no intention of moving. Although sometimes I think I'd like the nomad style of living, where I would go and stay in a certain area for a few months or a few weeks. Places where I have relatives or friends. I'm going to test that out with Florida first, because I got a lot of relatives and friends in Florida. But don't do something like that in the first year. People may tell you not to, and they're right. At least not in this first 6 months. Let some time go by. Unless there's a very, very good reason to move. Say you're financially strapped and your house is paid off and moving will give you living expenses. Yeah, but even still, take a couple months to think about it first if you can. I've gone all around it, haven't I? Other things that people say are, when you're young, you'll find someone. Well, what if they don't want to find someone? That can be really, it's dismissing the love that they had for their spouse. If you as a widow or widower expressed an interest in dating, then it's perfectly fine to say, you're young enough, you can find someone, or whatever. Not even young enough. You don't have to be young to find someone. But there's people out there, something like that. Only if they broach the subject first. Sometimes in-laws, not just the parents, but the brothers and sisters, get into the act. I was blessed. I had the greatest in-law family in the world. They were wonderful. They accepted me from our first time he introduced me to them while we were still dating. And they keep in touch. I went up for, unfortunately, a funeral a year or 2 ago. It was 1 year. And, I stayed with my sister-in-law. And it was nice. We got to catch up a little. And, we both enjoyed it, I think. She did. But I've also heard of, like, a woman's in-laws just, well, you're not married to him anymore, and I'll always be his sister. So I want his stuff. I want this, that, and the other thing, and that's hurtful, and it sends up walls. It sends up barriers. So if you could just, if you are, a family of somebody who recently died, and there is something of his or hers that you would like to have to remember them by. Ask nicely. You know, would you mind if I had, you know, this rocking chair because it's the one my mother used to rock us all to sleep in when we were little. And it holds a lot of family values in the messages. And she may say no, he or she may say no, because that's the chair you rocked your kids in too. So, don't be hurt if they say no. But pictures, pictures can be duplicated so easily now through the internet. Just scan them in and send them. Or scan them in and keep them for yourself and give the originals to the family, whichever works best for everyone. It's harder when it comes down to physical things, especially if it's worth something. Sometimes that brings all the relatives out of the woodwork. And even if there's a will and everything goes to you, you're still going to find those who are going to want something. Not you won't always, but you can, in some cases. And that's hurtful. Even if they don't mean it to be, it's hurtful. What else have I heard people say? Oh, are you going to sell your house? Are you going to sell his truck or car? Chances are, if they're asking if you're going to sell a vehicle, that they want to be first in line to buy it. They're interested in purchasing it. So, you might talk about that. Well, why are you asking me this? That's actually a good question, or good question to ask someone who has said something that doesn't strike home with you. It's just not right. It could be something that was hurtful to you, and you just ask, just why are you asking me this? And it could be an innocent reason, or maybe not. Also remember that dealing with his family and his friends, or her family and her friends, remember that they're grieving too. And that grief comes out in what they say to you. And maybe they haven't kept in touch and wish they had, so they blame it on you. You kept him away from us. Or you didn't let her, come and visit, or, whatever. You blame the rift on the spouse that's left living. And usually it's not true. They were estranged even before he died. So, or, before he got ill or whatever. So, and that probably most likely had nothing to do with you. So don't take it to heart. Just remember that they're grieving and they're wishing they had more time with him or her. And they need somebody to blame. They need a reason so that they don't feel the guilt. Because they do. They feel the guilt. And it's coming out as in blaming you. To own up to it, to take responsibility to it, or to put responsibility on, the person who has died. That's really hard. Because you want to, idolize them. You want to build an altar to them. You want to, oh, how perfect they were. Well, you know what? Everybody has imperfections. Everybody. And you don't want to treat your loved one like they didn't. Remember them, including their faults, their things that you didn't maybe love about them so much. Yeah, he left his underwear in the middle of the bathroom floor every time he showered. or he'd always lose his shoes and ask me where they went. Like, I wear them. Things like that. Remember those things in a kind way, in a way that, that's what made him or her. Oh, she was a lousy cook. But she did make this one dish that was really good. That was her signature dish. Or, find an opposite to the negative. And if you can't, well, that negative just made a part of who she was or he was. It doesn't define them completely. Yeah, I've been all over the place today, haven't I? I really should start planning out what I'm going to talk about and have an outline. But I like best when I just come on and talk to you and just share from my heart, things that I've gone through, things that people tell me they've gone through, and know that I'm always here for you. I'm always here. Even if I don't go live, I'm in the Facebook group. I'm on the Facebook page. I'm on YouTube. I don't think I've set this for YouTube today, but maybe I did. Oh, yep, I did. So I'm on YouTube. You can contact me through Facebook Messenger, and I'll respond. You can comment on something in YouTube if that's where you're watching me. Wherever you're watching me, comment or even just say, can we have a private chat? And I'll be happy to. We can go on Zoom or we can do it on the phone if you'd rather not be seen. I used to hate going live and hate Zoom, but now it's my preferred form of communication with somebody who's not right in front of me because I can see them. I don't care if you're still in your PJs or you haven't brushed your hair today or even brushed your teeth because that doesn't matter. I can't smell your breath. So I don't care about any of that. It deepens the connection that I have with people. So that's why I like Zoom. But, I will always be in your corner. I will always root for you. And I will hopefully give you some ways to manage this new life of yours and make it a little easier on you. So, yeah, get in touch. We can talk. I won't charge for the first talk. I do also give a free session to anyone who asks for it, but just one. If you need more than that, you're going to have to sign on as a client. I truly love you all, and I call you guys my widows and widowers. You're mine. I'm protective of you. So I thank you for listening to me today. If you'd like to share this, please go right ahead. Just tag me or something so I know and I can come on and thank you for sharing it. And I'll see you next Monday. Monday morning coffee break in the afternoon. Bye now.